Hi, good morning. My name is Ramkumar Pai. I was born in Kodungalur, and then, of course, I went to the school here, and after that, went to study in Christ College, Irinjalakuda. I finished BCom in 1980, and then I went to Delhi. I worked in Delhi for almost 5 years, and after working in Delhi, I moved to the US in the late 1980s, and since then I've been living in the US and have stayed in the US more than about 30 some years now. So when I reached US to study further, I always had been involved with physical exercises and cricket, especially playing cricket in my early childhood times, playing for school and playing for my college. So when I went to the US as a student, I still wanted to maintain my physical fitness. So I said, what are the options I have? So it was not until 2000, I think, year 2007 or 2008, that I started to run a little bit, because I still played cricket while I was in the US. I was fortunate enough to find some players who were playing cricket from India, Pakistan, England, Australia. So we played cricket, but then I also started to work and not paying attention to what I was eating. And I realized I was gaining weight a little bit, not that I was extra fat, but I knew I had more fat in my body. So in order to maintain and keep my fitness, I said, oh, what are my options? Then there were some local clubs and runners who I met. And at that time, I didn't know anything about running, absolutely zero. And then I started to run maybe 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers. Then there was a 10K race that I participated in, 10 kilometers.
Yeah.
That was I started my first running 10Ks maybe in 2009 or 8. That's when I realized, but it was so difficult to finish that 10K. I used to say, why? Oh my God, I'm feeling tired. And then once again I ran a 10K race, and right after I finished, I got an injury. I had a stress fracture. So I found out the reason for it. I went to a trainer, and the trainer said, probably it's because you are a little overweight, you have not done enough strength training, you have not worked out to make the running muscles stronger. So I became very curious to understand how I can improve the running, because playing cricket used to take the whole day. I was studying, I was working, so I was not able to give enough time for my favorite sport. So I started to run. Running didn't take that much time. It only took an hour, half an hour, whatever you give, to run 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers. So I went to the trainer, and the trainer said I need to strengthen my upper body, my glutes, my quads, my arms. So I started to go to the gym, started doing some strength training, and then I started to run again. But it was not until 2013 when a friend of mine approached me and said, Ram, since you are running a little bit, I just finished running a half marathon. Why don't you also start running with me? Oh, I said, what is half marathon? He said, it is running 22 kilometers. I said, I don't think I'm ready for it. I don't think I'll be able to run even 15 kilometers. I only have run 10 kilometers maximum. He said, no, you come with me. I'll teach you how to run. I said, okay, you teach me. And then we both started running together. His name was Gautam. And then I used to get a lot of aches. Like I'm sitting here, after a run, I used to buy Iodex and start rubbing them on my muscles because it was aching, and I had some muscle ache. My joints were all hurting. But we didn't quit. I kept on running, and I trained in 2013 for half marathon. And then he said, if you are doing half marathon, let's train for full marathon. I said, what is that? He said, that is 42, 43 kilometers. I said, oh, I don't think I will ever run that much. I've never run that many kilometers. He said, no, 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 let's train. So we started training again for that. And it was my first time that I was so happy that in 1 year I did a half marathon and I finished a full marathon in 2014, month of November. That was my start. I got addicted to running long distance. I never knew that my body can take that endurance, and the training that I got gave me confidence to run many, many more marathons. Since 2014, I've never stopped running. Every other day or so, till almost 9 years, I've been running. And I have run about 35 whole marathons, which is 42 plus kilometers, about 18 or so half marathons, and many 10Ks and 5K in my running career. I was fortunate enough to run in all 7 continents. Hello there, I'm back again. Ramkumar Pai here. So like I said, I started my first marathon, actually finished my first marathon in 2014. And since then, I just continued to run and train. And subsequently till now, I have run about 35 full marathons and about 18 half marathons. And the 35 marathons, among the 35 marathons, some of the achievements I am so proud to say is being able to run in all the 7 continents. And my first continent run was in Europe in 2016, which was in London. Then in 2017, I went to South America and I ran in Rio, in Brazil. Then in 2018, I ran in Antarctica and I ran in Africa, in Kenya. And then in 2019, I went to New Zealand, close to Australia. And that was my 6th continent. The 7th, I actually wanted to run either in India or in Israel. But then because of COVID, I was not able to do that. And instead, I was able to finish my last continent in Asia, in Tokyo, Japan. That was this year, 2023. Hello, I just wanted to talk about one of the most memorable marathons that I have run, and that I would say without any doubt in my mind is Antarctica. Going to Antarctica is one of the toughest ways to get there. You have to go on a ship 3 days in the ocean, which has huge waves. You go to a place which is super cold, below freezing. You are fighting cold winds, snow, but the training I received helped me because I was able to run in really cold weather in the US. And then that gave me confidence to run in Antarctica. But the Antarctica Marathon is one of the most difficult, challenging, and testing marathons for any human beings. And I would recommend for everyone to try hard and don't give up, and just believe in yourself that we can do a lot more than what we can think of we can do. The other memorable marathon, which is, in my opinion, the dream of any runner all over the world, is to run in the iconic race in Boston, Massachusetts in the US. To qualify for Boston is not very easy. You have to run at a particular time, qualifying time. And to get qualified takes a lot of effort, training, and discipline. I never knew or thought that I had in me the ability to qualify for Boston, leave alone run marathons. But I was able to surprise myself. And in one marathon, that was my 25th marathon, I qualified. And I qualified by beating all my personal best records. I came first in my age group in that marathon. I finished in 3 hours and 46 minutes, and I qualified for Boston. And I was able to run my first Boston in the year 2022. And I did qualify in Boston also by running in time of 3 hours and 49 minutes. Good morning again. So, among the many marathons I have run, I used to run just for enjoyment, not for a time. But then one of my running friends told me, Ram, you need to qualify to run a Boston Marathon, which means you have to prepare and you have to run a fast marathon. I said, how am I going to do that? He said, train, and train hard. So I trained hard, and then in 2020, I qualified with my personal best of 3 hours and 46 minutes on my 25th marathon. And that was the highlight of my running career. I felt so good because I was able to achieve my personal best at age 60. I was 60, that was 4 years ago. And since then, I've run many marathons and they have been under 4 hours, which is an excellent time for any marathon runner to achieve. And since then, I also finished running in the 6 major marathons in the world, which are Boston, Chicago, New York, London, Berlin, and Tokyo. So I was able to finish that in this year, 2024. And also last year, this time, exactly this week, I think it was, I also did my first ultra marathon, which is I ran 100 kilometers, which also gave me something that I knew what our body was not able to do but can do if you put your mind, you're determined, and you work hard. So I did that as well. Good morning again, Ramkumar here. Now, a lot of people when they meet me ask me, are you running still? I said, yes. No, you are about 60 plus. Is your knees not bothering you? Are you not having leg pain? Aren't you having this pain? They asked me. Then I said, no. I'm 64, that's all right. But the reason I'm able to run even at this age is because I keep moving. I need to move. If I don't move, this is all I have to say to anybody who is either a runner and not a runner, but in today's world, we all have sedentary jobs. We just still sit in front of the computer, we go to the bank, or we have so many parties that we like to go and eat food, which I also like to eat. But then the fact is, it really matters what we eat. Nutrition is the key. If we eat a lot of food which is not ideal for our body, which I don't want to go into detail, but I know I can tell you what works for me, what has helped me to become actively involved in running and staying fit, is watching what we eat. We need to make sure that we don't eat more than what we need, which is avoid sugar as possible, fried food, and any other food that makes us or gives us more fat. So that's okay. I'm not saying not to eat, but also start exercising. Any kind of movement, even a 30-minute brisk walk in a day, every day, if you walk, it is so much of value to our body that it gives us, number one, a lot of positive energy. You get to go out early in the morning, look at the beautiful sky, the beautiful sunrise that we wouldn't otherwise be able to see because we are nicely sleeping in our bed. So get out, work, keep moving your legs and arms and stay fit. Hi, good morning. So what am I looking forward to in my running career or in my life? See, I look at a lot of people who are much older than me, who are much fitter than me. So they are my role models. There are a lot of people who defy age. Age, in my opinion, is just a number. If you are 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, as long as we have a good outlook towards life, be positive, stay healthy, keep moving. When I say keep moving, stay active in whether it is exercises or doing some gardening, or it might be playing some sports like tennis, badminton, whatever makes you move your body. And I plan on keeping my active lifestyle going forward. I want to keep swimming. I like to swim. That's a good exercise. Cycling is a good exercise. So those two things, as we grow old, is very safe and very good in terms of not getting injured. Not everybody can run because it takes a lot of effort. You need to have good legs. So if you cannot run, you start walking. Brisk walks are always good. But the fact is, I want to keep running. I want to keep running many more marathons and maybe come back to India and run the Mumbai marathon as well.